Motivation is bullshit. You don't need inspiration. You don't need to feel good about yourself. You don't need to find some magical bean that you eat that changes the entire premise of your existence. In fact, the only thing that you need is the ability to decide. Now, we're going to talk about this. You see this guy right here? Or this guy right here? This was me 3 months ago. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit it. And the crazy thing is, I spent my entire life looking for sources, basing everything externally, looking for something to motivate me, looking for something to change, looking for the weather to be perfect. But then what I realized eventually is that when I looked in the mirror and I asked myself, who was the person that I allowed myself to become? And am I happy with the person that I allowed myself to become? Standing there in the mirror, wildly obese, almost 300 pounds, asking myself what happened, who allowed this. At first, it was easy to blame everyone else, external circumstances, food, the government, all the stuff. But at the end of the day, I had to realize that it was me. After I realized that, and I started to develop a hatred, not necessarily for myself, but for the decisions that I had made that resulted in the person that I had become. And then what I realized through that is the only primary question that I needed to ask myself is when I wake up in the morning and I take my shirt off, I look in the mirror, is am I proud of what I did today? Am I proud of the steps that I took towards the future that I want? And am I proud of the man that I've become? If that answer is no, the next step then is to do something about it. And then to do that something every day, whether I'm sick, whether I'm tired, whether I don't feel good. And it's really conditioning that decision muscle to get up every day and make that choice. Once this became about me instead of impressing other people, impressing women, impressing whoever, proving somebody wrong, proving to someone that I could do what they told me that I couldn't do. And it just became about doing the things that day that I would be proud of myself. And it's not perfect every day. There are days where even I go balls to the wall and I'm still not satisfied. But it's learning to celebrate those little victories along the way and learn that the only person that I have to prove myself to is me. I set that bar. And as long as I set that bar as do that thing every single day that you decided to do, then you do it. And then as I've noticed as we've continued to move forward and go through this process, life is getting a lot more simpler, a lot easier to navigate because as I keep my word to myself, right? Not brag to everyone else about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, but keep my word to myself and do the things that I said that I was going to do so I could be proud of me for that day. I found that everything else is more simple. Chew on that for a bit.